tonight it's the 4th Ward.
What about the 4th Ward?
I've been going through the old city records, and I find that as the 13th precinct of the 4th Ward goes, so goes the city. Yes, sir. Whoever carries the 13th precinct carries the city. We'll have a landslide. Since our first city election in 1830, whatever party won the 13th precinct carried the election. The rest of the precincts have always followed its lead. And why? Good old tradition. That's why. Pledge the 13th precinct unanimous, and the tide will sweep uptown like smallpox. Who's handling the 4th Ward this year?
I am, Mr. Chairman, Iron Hat McCarthy.
Oh, what are the prospects in your 13th precinct?
Well, you see, if the gentleman knew my ward as well as I do, you'd be realizing my 13th precinct is a very unique precinct indeed.
In what way, McCarty?
Well, sir, in recent years, the shops and office buildings have crowded out the residential abodes to such an extent that we haven't quite as many registered votes as previous.
Well, come out with it. How many are there?
Just one.
Fine. McCarty, you know this voter?
I do. Like a brother.
That's good, McCarty. That's good. Because if you fail to pledge his vote, you're through. Drummed out. Washed up! Is that clear?
It is. I got to vote him unanimous.
Now, what's this lone voter's name, McCarty?
Gregory Vance.
That's the way it happened. When old Iron Hat, fired Pop from his job, he only got himself in a spot that was 10 times tougher.
When he found out your father was the only voter in the 13th district, huh? He had to get your father's vote or his party would lose the election.
That's right. Well, old Iron Hat came to our house the very next afternoon. He was plenty anxious to patch things up with Pop, I can tell you.
But I bring this little gift here for your charming daughter, one of the fairest lasses in the whole city.
Thank him, Joan, dear.
Thanks.
Can it be that you have some ulterior motive in coming here? Or are you suddenly interested in the field of child welfare?
Dear, oh, dear, what a wit, what a joker.
I do not like you, McCarty.
What people think of me don't matter as long as they've a knife for the grand works of the party. What's your feeling about that, Mr. Vance?
I would hate to tell you with my daughter present.
No, then if it's the loss of your job that put rancor in your heart, you'll feel different when
I get it off my chest at the polls tomorrow morning.
Yes, now wait, will you wish? Wait till I tell you why you were done out of that miserable job, Mr. Vance. It was beneath you.
How's that again?
The fact has come recent to my attention that you was once a famous educator at Harvard College, and that you've written some monographs.
Monographs?
Yes, 'tis that, aye. And says I, what manner of civilization permits a fellow saturated with PHs and double L's to be doing a job that don't require no more alphabet than the police dogs? A brother in the bond of learning, says I.
Why don't you get to the point, you stuffed shirt?
Joan! Remember the ancient Vance tradition of hospitality. Always listen politely to a guest before throwing him out.
Now, as for a position to edify you for the loss of your watchman's job, the halls of learning of this great city would take on a new aroma just from your mental presence.
Thank you. What kind of a position are you referring to?
How would a janitor's position strike you?
Mr. McCarty, I would be truly grateful.
Hold it, Pop.
What's the matter, Joan?
Janitors ain't so great.
But I do need a job, Joan.
Yeah, and I'll bet Mr. McCarty needs your vote.
Nonsense. The vote's nothing in itself, Vance, but the party feels, well, it's enlisting your intellectual support. Now, if it's a teacher you want to be...
A teacher?
Wait a minute, Pop.
But a teacher, Joan.
Nothing doing. Teaching is for ladies.
The little darling's right. What I meant to say was we might use you right-handedly on the school board.
School board? Why, Mr. McCarthy, I'd be delighted.
Hold it, Pop.
What's the matter with that, Joan?
I never heard of a great man being on a school board.
All right, then, superintendent.
Superintendent?
Pop,
But, Joan...
let's hear another offer, Mr. McCarty.
Commissioner of Education, and that's the last offer.
Does anyone mind if I sit down?
How about a contract, Mr. McCarty?
Yes, I'll get a contract drawn up. You wait here, and I'll be right back.
You're in, Pop. You're in.
Yes. No, I can't do it. I can't possibly make a bargain with this man.
Why not?
Joan, the casting of a vote is the casting of a belief. That's why this country's good. Iron Hat McCarty represents a crooked and sinister political machine. I just can't sell out. The Vances may equivocate with their dreams, but never with their ideals.
But Pop, you could dress up nice and you wouldn't have to work nights in the cold and the rain and everything. You'd be a commissioner. Ain't that something pretty great?
Well, I don't know.
The commissioner has a car, because I seen it. And I could ride with you. And I'd make all them fresh kids at school look terribly sick. Oh, I'd be so proud of you. Gosh.
You'd be proud of me, huh?
Gee, Pop, yes. Awful proud.
I don't know. I gotta think it over. I ought to kick McCarthy out on his ear when he comes back. Yet I don't know. That commissioner's job is a big one. And I'd like to be a great man. For you.
Well-oiled party machine of Iron Hat McCarty early this evening prophesied success for Mayor Artemus W. Folsom and his entire ticket tomorrow, claiming the whole city will follow the lead of the lone voter of the 13th precinct, Gregory Vance. His Honor, Mayor Folsom, will be at the polling place to greet voter Vance.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Vance has just cast his historic vote. And now it gives us a special pride to announce at this time to one and all that Mr. Gregory Vance, formerly of Harvard College and the author of several famous moneygraphs, besides being a great scholar and a great man, to say the least, Mr. Gregory Vance has consented to become the new Commissioner of Public Schools. Mr. Vance, will you contribute to the glory of the occasion by giving us a speech? All right. Right into the microphone, Mr. Vance.
Ladies and gentlemen, I came, I saw, I conquered.
That's Caesar.
No, Joan. That is Gregory Vance, the scrubbiest Roman of them all. Gregory Vance, magnified briefly by a kindly destiny in a kindly land where greatness is within a man, and where any man who calls himself great is only looking at his shadow while standing on the shoulders of those who have lifted him up. Side by side we walk today, the big and the little, and those we sometimes call the down and out, to cast our votes. A voter by the name of Mr. John Greenleaf Whittier once spoke of that. The proudest now is but my peer, the highest not more high. The day of all the weary year, a king of men am I. Today alike are great and small, the nameless and the known. My palace is the people's hall, the ballot box, my throne.
You're doing great, Pop.